Hello everyone. Today I'm going to talk about hot and cold commercial real estate investment alternatives during COVID-19 pandemic. My name is Denise Sanyurt. I work as a commercial real estate investment advisor. You can reach me at the contact details I provided at my presentation, and also you can follow me at my YouTube channel named My Location Advisor. Please don't forget to hit subscribe button so that you can get a notification every time I provided new information on my blog. Let's jump into it. During these unprecedented times, we are trying to figure out what is happening and what's going to happen in the future to commercial real estate markets. In order to protect our investments or make profit out of this downturn, we need to keep ourselves updated. Since the beginning of of the pandemic, I've been following media resources to put together information for my clients. And I put this presentation to help you make an educated commercial real estate investment decision. I hope you will find it useful. Let's start with the cold alternatives first. We consider retail, land, office, student housing, hospitality, and senior housing as the cold alternatives for the commercial real estate investment. Retail type of properties, we were already seeing observing difficulties in retail type of properties. They were experiencing high vacancy and the landlords were having tough time to fill up those vacant spaces. Right now, unless it is anchored by a grocery store, we expect that those shopping centers, especially the mall type of shopping centers, will have difficult time to keep up with the deal with the pandemic and restrictions imposed upon them. So we try to stay away from retail type of properties. The other, moreover, I would like to add that, as you know, retail properties are considered as income generating properties, and they are valued based on the income they generated. Right now, as the tenants having tough time to pay their rents, it will be difficult to value a real retail type of property, and we don't think that they will be valued at the right price. We don't have the benchmark to value those type of properties because all the information we base our valuation are based on the pre-COVID-19 timeline. So we consider retail type of properties as the cold alternatives. Land is another cold investment alternative because the underwriters have tough time on pricing the risk associated with the long-term projects. Unless you have a very cool project to convince the lenders, it will be very difficult to convince banks to finance a long-term project on a land. So we consider land development projects as a cold alternative at the moment. Office space investments are considered cold alternatives. As you will, as you know, office demand is directly correlated with the employment rates. Higher the job creation, higher the employment, higher the demand for the office space. However, given the situation with the coronavirus pandemic and people are working out of their homes and they're getting used to it, and also the requirements for the sanitation, hygiene requirements, it makes it the demand for office space shrunk. And given that situation, unless you're purchasing it for your own use, it will be difficult to um, consider it as an investment alternative for income generation. So I suggest you stay away from the office space investment unless you are buying it for your own use. If it is the case that you're buying it for your own use, then that will be the good time for you to purchase because you have the power to negotiate. Student housing is considered as another called alternative, depending on the schools are if the schools are opening this fall. Um, we are already seeing high vacancy, and we are already seeing a high increase in the delinquencies and increase in the difficulty for rent collection. So we consider the senior student housing as a cold alternative at the moment, and we will be very careful approach to student housing investment very cautiously. Hospitality apparently is a tough investment alternative right now because they cannot operate their business. Tourism is down and people are not staying in the hotels. All the events are canceled, traveling is canceled, so it's difficult to consider those hospitality uh, investment alternatives right now. So we will stay away from the hospitality investment alternatives. Senior housing is also considered as an cold alternative because unless those senior housing um, property owners prove that, show the proof that they can handle this kind of pandemic, it will be difficult to convince the people to leave their elderly in the senior housing properties uh, because they became the epicenter of this pandemic. It will be very uh, difficult to convince people invest in the senior housing properties. So I will be, if I were you, I would stay away from the senior housing investment alternatives at this moment right now. So in terms of hot commodities, we consider industrial, medical office, self-storage, multifamily, manufactured homes, and affordable housing as the hot commodities to invest. Here is why. Industrial properties were already getting a high demand. Um, During this pandemic, we adjusted our shopping attitude approach to online, and more people, including the seniors, jumping into online shopping to stay safe. So that pushed those companies rent more space for the storage. So given the situation, we expect to see higher demand for the distribution centers, local distribution centers, and also given that most of us, in fact all of us, jump into meetings with the Zoom and using more data, we expect to see more demand for the data centers. So given those situations, we expect to see higher demand for industrial properties, so they are considered as hot commodities right now. Medical buildings are considered hot commodities. Because of this pandemic, we will need more hospitals, we will need more doctors, we will need more space for treating those people suffering from COVID-19 and the other illnesses. So we consider that medical office space is another hot commodity to purchase. Self-storage, I consider it as a hot commodity, but I will still approach it a bit cautiously because we already have higher supply of self-storage, oversupply of self-storage. However, given the downturn, we expect that a lot of people downsize and put their belongings to the self-storage, including the students. So this might increase the demand for self-storage properties. So I put it in the hot commodity section, but if I were you, I would approach it with cautiously. Manufactured homes, affordable housing, and multifamily are considered as a hot commodity. Because of the downturn and increase in unemployment, people will downsize and move from single-family homes to the apartment buildings, and we expect to see higher demand for those type of properties, especially affordable housing and manufactured homes are the ones will be high on demand in these coming couple of years. So that said, this is a summary of all the things I put together from the material I researched for you. So in summary, coal commodities, retail, land, office buildings, senior housing, hospitality, and student housing, and the hot commodities, industrial, medical office, self-storage, multifamily, manufactured homes, affordable housing are the hot commodities to invest in commercial real estate markets right now. So in summary, I try to put this presentation to help you make educated commercial real estate investment decisions. And again, my name is Denise Stanyurt. I work as a commercial real estate investment advisor. You can reach me at the contact details I provided on my presentation, and you may also follow me at my YouTube channel, My Location Advisor. So please don't forget to hit a subscribe button so that you can get notification every time I post new content for my subscribers. I look forward to hearing from you. Please don't forget to leave a comment, and if you like it, please put a comment, like us, and I look forward to working with you in the future. Give us a call if you have questions on your properties or your local markets. You may reach me at 571-271-6604, or you may email me at denise@mylocationadvisor.com. Looking forward to hearing from you soon. Thank you. Bye.